making nut milk, and I'm going to explain to you why I choose to do it at home instead of buy store-bought. First of all, it's less expensive. And second reason, which there's actually a lot of reasons, but the second reason is because almost all of the nut milks that you get in the grocery store are pasteurized. And through that pasteurization process, they are heating it to a temperature that is killing the nutrients. And I want all the nutrients that I can get, right? And so I make it at home. It takes me 5 minutes, and I get to save all the precious nutrients because there's no pasteurization here. So if you can actually take any of your nut milks and you can put them in the refrigerator and they can last for several months or even several weeks, it has been pasteurized. This milk for me will last about 5 days. Sometimes I can squeak out 7, but it doesn't last that long here. And actually just this week, I have made macadamia nut milk, I have made cashew coconut milk, and now I'm going to be making pistachio. So pistachio is new to me. This is the first time that I have tried it. I actually made it the other day, and I wanted to try it before I actually put this video out, just to make sure it was something that I would enjoy, and I actually like it a lot. And what I have in here is hot water. It's not boiling, but if you use hot water, then it just helps to break the nut down even further, because what we really want for our end result is smooth and creamy milk. Here I have my pistachios. I'm going to go ahead and pour those in. And I am using 1 date because this is half the recipe that I typically use. Dates they help to mimic the sweetness of regular dairy milk. So if you're used to using milk, regular dairy milk, or half and half in your coffee, then you're going to want to sweeten it just a little bit to help mimic what you've always loved and enjoyed. So dairy has a level of sweetness to it. It has a level of what kind of tastes salty to it too. So I'm going to go ahead and add a pinch of sea salt in there, and you can flavor it however you would like. If you would like to add a little bit of vanilla, which I'm going to do that as well. And sometimes I'll go ahead and dump a little bit of almond extract in there because I really like the flavor of almonds as well. And then I'm going to blend this right up, but I also wanted to include a few more reasons on why you want to make yours at home. And so we already talked about how it's so much cheaper than what you buy in the store, but it also has like 5 times the amount of nuts in here. Most of the milks that you buy in the grocery store only have about 2% nuts. Seriously, it's mostly water and then fillers that they put in there. Another reason why you don't want them is because of the fillers that they put in there. 1, to extend shelf life, but 2, to help it mimic that creaminess of the dairy, to thicken it up. Thickening agents, they'll use carrageenan. I've seen xanthan gum, and these things can actually cause gastric upset, and we don't want to do that. Everything that we put in our body, we want to be nourishing, actually complementing this wonderful system that God has given us. So I encourage you to just try to start making it at home. I think it's fun. I love it. I love the different concoctions that you can make. So I'm going to go ahead and blend this up, and then I'm going to get my wonderful little cup of coffee that I have been waiting for, and I use it for way more than that. If I am making oatmeal, I like to make my oatmeal a lot like cereal. Sometimes I'll make a cereal out of my granola, and this is what I'm using for my milk. I love it. If you soak your nuts for about 12 hours, then it will help to break them down. Sometimes I choose to save the water, and sometimes I discard it. If you're not going to discard it, that's okay. Just make sure that you've covered it so that dust and particles and bugs and things like that don't end up in your water, because it is sitting out on your counter for 12 hours. You definitely want to make sure that you have a high-powered blender. Otherwise, you're just not going to get that wonderful texture. And to me, if you don't have that great texture, then you're probably not going to want to use it in your coffee. You're going to want to make sure that you run this for at least a minute to be able to get max extraction. Now for the fun part is where we strain it, and you're really going to want a nut milk bag. It's the absolute easiest way to do it. I've tried other sources, and this is worth it. They're not that expensive. I actually got a deal where I got 2 on Amazon, and I think it was like $9.99. Just pour that in. Oh, I can smell it. I just love the nuttiness. I love the way it smells. And this green color is so fun. There are uses for the pulp that is in this bag. People use them in cakes and make cookies, and I have a video making cookies. And you can just dry it. You can either put it in a dehydrator if you're fortunate enough to have one day, I hope one day, or you can dehydrate it in your oven at the lowest temperature for about an hour. And I would say the final reason to make your nut milk at home is because it tastes amazing. Look, there's not much left in here as far as the pulp, so good job, good job. Put it in a container so I can store it in the refrigerator. And a little for my afternoon latte. I just feel like something a little extra special. Hitting the spot. No kidding. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I ask if you would please leave a comment. Let me know what you would like to see next, what you thought about this video, if this information is useful for you, and maybe you already make your own nut milk, and maybe you have a few tips and tricks that we would like to hear. Always willing to learn more. Thank you so much.